Hi, and welcome to part 2 in this video workshop series on building a security reporting solution for Oracle eBusiness Suite using CS Report. In this video, we're going to build the first report, the Dormant Users report. So all report creation is done via the CS Report Designer, which is a single integrated development environment. So from here, we can design, build, test, deploy, version control, edit, modify, maintain, everything to do with our reporting solutions, all from within a single user interface. So the first thing we need to do is give our report a name. So the name just uniquely identifies it, in this case SR for security reports, D users for dormant users, 01 because this is the first version of the dormant users report. Give it a title. In this case, we're just going to say security, line out type, dormant users v1. Project, so earlier I created a container, if you like, a project to contain our report. We'll use this later when we use Application Builder, and the solution group it belongs to is user reporting. We'll accept the default for style and position. Menu, prompt and sequence, we don't need to populate these now, but we will use them later on when we use Application Builder, just to save us time later. Enter a menu prompt or double click to pull in the window title. I'm just going to edit that down slightly. So dormant users v1, and that can be menu sequence number 10. Now, at the heart of any CS report solution is its data source. The data source can essentially be any EBS table or any custom table, any EBS or custom view. You can auto-generate SQL based on a CS audit entity if you're using that solution in our suite or CS Impact. You can also use SQL Builder, which is a simple point-and-click user interface to create your SQL statements. But in this case, I'm just going to paste in some SQL that I created earlier. Now, the SQL is nothing overly complex, pretty simple SQL select statement that looks at the table where EBS users are stored based on when they last logged in, and it pulls in a few other little pieces of information to make the report more useful. So at this stage, all we need to do is save and compile. And that's it. Version 1 of our new reporting solution is actually complete. I can test it now, press the test button, and here we go. Press refresh. By default, it warns if you're going to perform an open query, just gives you an opportunity to check to make sure you don't want to put any search criteria in. In this case, I'm just going to perform a full open query, and there we go. So a full-featured, fully interactive, standard EBS look and feel screen-based report. All standard functionality works. So for example, if I were looking for all users beginning with the letter S, here we go. So you kind of get the idea. Now, we could leave the report there, but I'm going to make a few minor edits to it. I might want to make the description a bit wider. I want to change the field or the item label for last logon date. Maybe I want to add some formatting to make the days ago a little bit more legible by adding the thousands separator. I also want to apply some conditional formatting to maybe draw my attention to those users that should be looked at first. So making edits to our report is very simple. Close that down, go into the items window for description. It's currently 15 wide, let's make it 30 wide. Last logon date, let's remove the DA. Days ago, I want to specify that it should show 1,000 separator. Now, whilst I'm doing this, I want all days ago on any report that we build in the future to have the same formatting. So what I'm going to do is put this item's attributes into the item library just for this project. So all I need to do that is ensure that the project radio button on the left side here is checked. I want to add some conditional formatting now. So the conditional formatting that I want to apply is against the username. So let's say that when a person has never logged into EBS, we want the username to be highlighted in red. Also, let's say if a person has logged into EBS within the last 12 months, then maybe highlight it in green. So we can do that very easily. We simply enable conditional formatting. And what we're going to do for the first one is base the conditional formatting on the dormant for field. And if that is equal to never used, then what we want to do is display the username in white with a red background. There we go. And for the second format, our conditional formatting we want to apply, we're going to base this on the days ago field to say, okay, if the days ago for this particular user is less than or equal to 365, i.e. within the last 12 months, and in this case, we're going to display it black with a green background. Okay. So that's my changes done. Save, close the item window, recompile and test, perform an open query, and there we go. So the description field is now wider. Last logon date now just says last logon. Days ago is now displaying the 1,000 separator. And also you can see where it's never used, it's been highlighted in red. Let me just scroll through the records, see if we can find somebody who's logged in the last 12 months. There we go. So A. Johnson, or Alex Johnson, was logged in between 1 and 3 months ago, or 77 days ago. So there you go. That's version 1 of our report complete. So now we're going to add Excel reporting capabilities to our report. Now we can do this in 2 ways. I will be showing you both of them, but the first method is to embed Excel reporting capabilities into this screen-based report. So the way we do this is super simple. Let me show you now. So close the report down, go to the reporting region, and to enable embedded Excel reporting, simply in the reporting region, enable the Excel report section and ensure that in terms of output format, Excel report is ticked, which is by default. Save and compile. And that's it. We've now added Excel reporting capabilities as an embedded report from within the screen-based report. So to test this, click Test, and you will notice the Tools menu is now enabled and we have an Excel report option. So let me go ahead and run this now. This is now running as a concurrent request. Now, what the embedded version of the report does, it uses the search criteria you used to run your screen-based report, and it applies the same criteria to the Excel report. So whatever data you pull into the screen-based report, you get the same data out in the Excel report. So let me see if that report is finished. Now run as a standard concurrent request, and we can see here export from security dormant users. Let me view the output, and here we go. Our report in perfectly formatted, easy to read and understand Excel. So the next method we're going to use to add Excel reporting capabilities to our report is by way of creating an independent concurrent program that's associated with our report. To do this, it's very simple. Go to the reporting region, and we've already got the Excel report option enabled. We've also got the output type set as Excel report. All we need to do now is enable the independent concurrent program Excel report option. Once we enable that, we need to give our Excel report or our independent concurrent program a name. We need to type in something new or simply double click, and that will pull in the window title. If we want to have alternate rows highlighted and applying a conditional formatting in the Excel report, simply tick the apply conditional formatting checkbox. And that's it. All we need to do now is save and compile. Behind the scenes then, CS Report has generated a brand new independent concurrent program which can be used to run our Excel report. For now, what we want to do is deploy both our screen-based and our independent concurrent program-based Excel report and see what they look like at runtime. So deploying a solution is very simple. All we do is click the direct deploy button. Down the left side, we've got a list of responsibilities. So I'm going to filter for the one that I want to deploy to. In the search, I'm going to type sys and then search, and then I'm going to select system administrator. In the center of the screen, we get an expandable tree control that allows me to drill into the menu structure for the responsibility that I've selected on the left. Now in this case, I want my screen-based report to go in the security submenu in the user submenu. So simply select the appropriate menu, then ensure that there is a menu prompt defined, and then click deploy solution. It tells me straight away solution deployed successfully. Now to deploy the independent concurrent program, which is the details of which are down here, all we do is simply click deploy ICP or deploy independent concurrent program. That will then add that concurrent program to the request group that's associated with the current responsibility. So to test it then, close this down and then switch over to System Administrator. If I go into the Security submenu and then into the User submenu, I can now see I've got a new report on the menu, Security Dormant Users V1. Open that, and here's my screen-based report. The embedded Excel report is still available from within it, but the main thing we're testing here is the actual independent concurrent program. So let's go ahead and do this now. So if I just go View Requests, Submit a New Request, and then Filter, I can see CS Report Security Dormant Users V1. Let's submit that, and then Monitor Requests. So the report is now finished, so let's view the output. And here we go. We've got a perfectly formatted, nice and easy to read Excel-based report. Alternate row highlighting, which makes the report nice and easy to read. You can also see that we've got conditional formatting. So there we go. As you can see from this particular video, that building screen-based reports that are fully interactive, fully compatible, standard look and feel screen-based reports is incredibly easy. No code really was needed apart from perhaps a little SQL. Adding Excel reporting capabilities is even easier, and then deploying the solutions only takes a few seconds. So that's it for part 2 in this workshop series on using CS Report to build a security reporting solution for EBS. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and we'll see you next time.